Okay friends, so in this video we're going to talk arc length when you get a discontinuous derivative value. So here's the situation. I want to find the arc length for y equals x over 2 to the 2/3 from x equals 0 to x equals 2. Okay, so first of all, to find arc length, so I know that I'm going to have to calculate the derivative. So if I take the derivative, so this is going to be 2/3 x over 2 to the negative 1/3, and then take the derivative of the inside, so that's going to be times 1/2. Okay, so this ultimately equals 1 over, what is it? 1 over 3 times x squared to the negative 1/3, because these 2's will drop out. And okay, so now I also just want to rearrange this, so I'm just wrapping my head around this. So since I have, oops, this should be a 1 over 3. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to flip these values. So this becomes 1 over 3 times 2 over x to the 1/3. So you just got to kind of wrap your head around all those negative exponents and stuff. Okay, so I've flipped this, and now there's a glaring issue here. The issue is that at x equals 0, this does not exist. So that is a problem, okay? So what do we do about that? Well, what we can do is we can just flip everything from x to y and see if that fixes the problem. So let's make some space. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to solve this little function here. So I'm going to just solve it in terms of y. So to get that party started, I need to take both sides to the 3/2. And so now I have y to the 3/2 equals x over 2. And then I get x equals 2y to the 3/2. Okay, the other thing that I've got to do here is I've got to just determine what are my new limits of integration. So I'm going to take this x equals 0, I'm going to plug it into the original function. So if I take y of 0, that will just equal 0. And if I take y of 2, so that will equal 2 over 2 to the 2/3. So that's just going to equal 1. So my new limits of integration now go from 0 to 1. So now I want to just find the arc length of this situation here. And so how do we do that? The formula is really the same as arc length for x. So in this case now, you'll just notice that I've just converted everything to in terms of y. So you really just need your function in terms of y, and then you just flip your limits of integration accordingly. So before this would have been dy dx, but now this is going to be 1 plus dx over dy squared, or equivalently, you could think of that as the square root of 1 plus g prime of y squared. Whichever way you want to think about it is fine. So to that end, let's go ahead and work through this. So obviously the first thing I'm going to need is I'm going to need to find a derivative. So if I take the derivative, this will be 2 times 3/2 y to the 1/2. So that is just 3y to the 1/2. And okay, cool. So now I can go ahead and integrate. So this will be from 0 to 1, the square root of 1 plus 3y to the 1/2 squared dy. So I am just integrating 1 plus 9y squared dy. Or sorry, no squared. Sorry, the y to the 1/2, and this just becomes 1 plus 9y. Right. Okay, so I'll make some space. And so now we can integrate. So of course I can just use substitution. So my u is 1 plus 9y. My du is 9 dy. So I have 1/9 du equals dy. So let's see, I'll just integrate first. So this will be u to the 1/2 du. And I'll have this 1/9 out in front. So let's see, I'm going to get 1 over 9 u to the 3/2 multiplied by 2/3. Okay, so there's my antiderivative. So that's 2 over 27. 2 over 27, 1 plus 9y to the 3/2. And then I need to still evaluate with my limits of integration from 0 to 1. So I need to bring those back. So I have 2 over 27. So let's see. This will be 1 plus 9, so that's 10 to the 3 halves, minus just 1. So we have that very not beautiful number, but let's see, that'll come out to, let's see, we could call this, I'll make a little space. Okay, so we can call this, instead, we can call this 10 times the square root of 10, times the square root of 10. So that's equivalent to 10 to the 3 halves, that minus 1, and then if I wanted to, I could call this 20 times the square root of 10 over 27 minus 2 over 27, or give them all a common denominator. So that'll be 20 square root of 10 minus 2 over 27, and I think that is, let me see, yeah, so my calculation is this comes out to 2.27. Okay, and so that's it for that one. So I'll leave it at that. So if you found that helpful, I'd love it if you hit the like button. But otherwise, I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye.